And I'm live. All right. So here we are, a week after I just had my first year birthday thingamajig. That was a kind of a bit odd, I guess. Yeah, like it was. Well, first off, actually, welcome to everyone. Is it working? I hope. Is it on? Let's see. Yep, we're on. Okay. Yeah, I guess I must have screwed with the time things. I've got two live streams. I had. Hey, good morning, Meandering Mike. I had two live streams scheduled. I wonder why it's. Oh, there we go. It's now showing one. And I guess I must have screwed with the time because I originally set my Wednesday, the upcoming Wednesday live stream. That's just gonna be for miniatures and whatnot. I did that for midnight, assuming I was not going to have Thursday off, and now I do have it off. So I adjusted that to 9 o'clock. But I guess I must have fiddled with this live stream one. Anyways, let's see here. One thing I do, well, welcome everyone. That's the first thing I always have to try to remind myself to say to people. Secondly, remember please that if I don't get your comments, just remind me or something. It's just I get sidetracked or I don't stare at the comments, and I apologize. It's certainly not, I'm trying to be, it's just I'm being inattentive, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And secondly, I did mention yesterday that I do want to reiterate that how thankful I am that Calandale gave me permission way back when to allow me to stream his playthroughs because, as I mentioned, I think basically he was like, like the enzyme, the contact, the propeller to get going for me for this live stream to get, to go. I really basically didn't have any material. I just wanted to start interacting with other people about the Weltkrieg, and as we know, it's morphed into World War I and everything else. So, what else? Oh, and the third thing I do want to mention before we go off into Wonderland here is that all the luck to Not Jay's marathon today. I think it starts at 4 o'clock Eastern time, so I hope to God, they've been pumping that well. I really hope it goes well for them. Like, I hope it goes way better than they expect, and yeah, all the power to them, man. Let's start off with the History Heroes trivia. I should have written down the leaderboard points. Meandering Mike's still ahead, but other people are darn it, I've got it somewhere listed, but I think Meandering Mike's at 31 points. And I think William Arends is at 21, and I think Charles is at 20. So those are the three biggies kind of thing. I'll start off with, I was smart enough, two things I think I was smart enough to do this time. Was one, to hopefully try to get rid of some of the seasickness so I can still talk about what was going on the week that was back in 1915 for us. Excuse me. Starts today at noon Central, which is 1 p.m. Eastern. Thank you, Meandering Mike. Meandering Mike mentions that it's not what I thought it was, which was 4 o'clock Eastern time. So it's 3 hours earlier for me. So thank you for mentioning that, because I'm going to be in and I mean, that's basically, I mean, let's be honest. I think it's going to be what a lot of us are going to be doing for the next 24 hours when that kicks in. It's just off and on. It's for me, it's going to be like I said way back when. It's almost going to feel like a Jerry Lewis thing for me in a sense, but far better. And they're not asking for money every 3 seconds, so that'll be awesome. Let's start off with the History Heroes. Like I said, there's two things here. So one, I did put in the clues and the hints. I've already typed them in, so now I can pop them onto the banner. And secondly, I took pictures ahead of time of all the areas that I want to talk about very quickly on the week that was here before we go off into Calandale's playthrough, which is about 23 minutes long. So, but I thought this is a better way, so that way I don't have to grab the camera and have it, everything going all over the place. I can just what do you call it? Share the screen for my pictures, and then I can point to that. Fourthly, I'd never clued in that you can adjust the mouse pointer size, so I can make it like super big and be able to really easily show what I want to indicate on the pictures. Fifthly, I had no idea that Microsoft Edge allows me to instantly click. There's a little button I can just click, anybody can do it, and you can instantly make a QR code of the web page that you're looking at. Hello. Oh my goodness gracious me. I was like, thank you very much for that. That's really going to be beneficial. I love QR codes. That's all I got to say. So anyways, we're going to start off with the first hint for the thing. I got to go over to the banners thing here. And yet again, you get 1 point just for even guessing. And after that, I think we'll just start getting more, I'll give points out or whatever, you know, we'll give points out for, you know, how close you are to the whatever. Because as I've mentioned before, these History Heroes questions are pretty darn, or the characters and the people and places that they're, you know, wanting you to get. Or I find a lot of them are like really, really hard. Okay, so here's the first one, and I'll show it. I joined the football battalion along with many other footballers. So there's your first clue. Who am I in World War I, obviously. Oh, darn it. I've also got to remember that at the very end, if we do reveal the answer or whatever for today's History Heroes, I actually made a picture ahead of time. Like I put out all the cards and then took a photo of the picture so that way you guys can see, you know, the actual picture again. And yet again, to get away from the seasickness of what have yous. All right, so you've got the first one up there, and please let me know if the volume's not working or any of that stuff. You know, that type of stuff. It would be great to know. Okay, so I got that done. I've got the shout out to Calandale. We've done the History Heroes trivia. Oh yes, and that was two things that I think I've mentioned to you before that. One thing that I wanted to do is, as we go through every year, is to look for scenario-specific ones that start in that year for Der Weltkrieg. And there's two coming up real quick, so I have to start reading up about them a little bit. As well as, I did mention that in the description thing, that I was going to talk about the Battle of Kolubara, which I think occurred in November 1914. That would have been the third offensive that the Austrians tried. Podiorik said, "Come on, give me one last chance here, and I can do it." It failed miserably. Temporarily, I think they were able to take Belgrade, but anyways, I'm not going to get into that because I had to backtrack, and there's so much stuff to find out about. Like to get up to that point. So it's going to take me a while, is what I'm saying. Also, it's still irritating to me that, but yet again, I'm like, Chris, man, there's only so much you can do. It irritates me that I haven't really gotten into Africa, like looking at more of that stuff. Meandering Mike says, can you post the clues in the chat, please? Oh my gosh, sorry. I certainly will. Hold on here. I'll pop it in the, I think I can, oh yeah, of course I can, because I have it, hold on here, I just got to go to the thing, because I've obviously wrote it out on a side thing. So I just got to look it up here. I almost gave away the person's name. Oh, that would have been terrible. And there you are. Did I? No, I didn't type you in, you little brat. Okay, so I'm going to see if I can copy and paste it from my banners, I hope, because that would certainly save me a lot of edit. Aha, now I can just copy and paste. There we go. And I'm going to copy, and I'll go back to comments, and here you go, Meandering Mike and everybody else. So there you go. I joined the football battalion along with many other footballers. I'll give you another one because these aren't really, I mean, come on. This is a really, this one's a good one. Edit, and I'll copy that, and I'll pop that in the comments. And the second one is, you're welcome, Meandering Mike. The second one is, I was the first black combat officer in the British Army. And I'm going to put that in the banners for now so people can see that one. Where are you? There you are. Boink. Okay. And then we'll go back to comments. Okay, I'll quickly go to, okay, we've done that. I also mentioned, I was saying that I really want to get the fronts on the map so we can start getting some context. But one thing I'm really happy about right now is the fact that, like I was mentioning, well, you're going to see in a minute, when I pop up the pictures, I don't have to, like I said, I don't have to go zipping around with the webcam and worry about getting everybody seasick and, you know, zooming in and out. I've taken the picture ahead of time, so that should be okay. What are the other quickie things I want to chat about? Oh yeah, the two things that are upcoming scenarios. So historically on the 22nd of April, the second Battle of Ypres and Artois, I do believe, or Amiens, no, Artois, is going to, well, I can check it up for Christ's sakes. Yeah, it's Artois. So it's section 13 in the Western Front one, and the first turn is turn 6 of April 1915. And then we, of course, have the Gorlitza Tarnov breakthrough scenario that's going to be in, starting in May, and like I said, AKA the Great Retreat. And which is neat is based on what's been going on this week. Especially up, I find, up and towards Russia, Poland and East Prussia, you can kind of see, at least from my point of view, I think I can see a bit of jockeying for position for, I mean, the Russians don't know what's about to happen, but the Gorlitza Tarnov breakthrough, as we know, is about to start getting going in May. And, you know, lots of, yeah, I think that's what's happening. You can see a bit of jockeying for position kind of thing. And, okay, let's see here. Yeah, let's go to the I'll go over my one at a time, and I'll start sharing the pictures. Here we go. And we'll go to the Western Front. Hold on here. I got to snag on, make sure I've got the right one. There we go. And I think I can get rid of that one. All right. And then I'm going to go to comments. I got to make sure that I present, share screen. I want to share that window. All right. So please let me know if everything looks good. You can see what and whatnot. Hopefully you can. Like you can. Oops. There we go. That's very sensitive. Goodness gracious. So here I've got written down that 6 French airmen bombed Metz here. So I'm using that little blue spot, and I was just trying, and yet again, when you see these things with the yellow arrows, I'm just trying to indicate which direction, like who was doing what kind of thing here. And here's Les Éparges, I do believe, and the French were making some progress here and were able to repulse the counterattacks a day or two later. That was in late March, so just a couple of days ago. And up towards here, that area there, let's see here, that was a British air raid on Zeebrugge and Hoboken on this day, actually, in 1915. And this area here is where the Germans are making some progress. Where is this? This is Dixmude in Belgium. And where are you? I don't see you around here. Let's go to the next one, and maybe I can... And oh, Reims. Where's Reims? It's maybe a bit further down. There's Metz. Where's Reims? He should be around there somewhere. Oh, I wonder why I didn't pop him on. Oh, there it is. There's Reims. Sorry, right there, right there, right there. So right there is where I do believe the Germans did some air bombing as well. So that's pretty neat. I just find, like I said, I would like to really see where the front is exactly, so that way we can start. But obviously you can see there's been, you know, and there, yet again, this is, I think, in preparation for the, like we said, the second Battle of Ypres and Artois for trying to knock out one of the major rail lines that's supplying the German ammunition and troops towards the Western Front here. Okay, so what's the next one? The next one, now we're going, aha! This is taking me so flippin' long to find, it's not funny. The Lupko Pass. And I'll see if I can show you what, well, I'll show it to you in a minute. So this is, well, you can see Shemish over here. And this is, and we'll find out why it's so important. So this, as you know, like one of the major offensives that was going on by Conrad here during the middle of the winter to try to relieve the horrible siege that was going on in Shemish, which didn't work, and over 100,000 troops surrendered last week. And now the Russians are actually even pushing further in and have now taken the Lupko Pass. We're going to see in a minute there. I'm going to show you where, with Ken's map, the map that I was doing with Ken and I, where the fronts are, and you can see what's going to end up happening, kind of thing. So, which I thought was pretty neat. Oh yeah, I wanted to quickly show you the Lupko Pass here. Hold on. So I'm going to stop the screen, and then I'm going to go to the other screen so I can show you why they say it's pretty darn important. And we're going to go to Microsoft Edge tab. Let's go to this guy. Okay, just for a second, because I need to go to... Oh no, I know what I needed to do. I needed to, sorry guys. I need to share something else. So I need to present the... oh, Garnet, maybe it's not in there. Are you not in there, or are you full screen? No, you're there. Uh-huh. There you are, Lupko Pass. Okay, now I go to it. I think you need the actual window not to be minimized. I think that's how it works here. Yep. Alright, so tell me if you guys can see that. I hope you can. And so it says, yeah, here is a significant mountain pass in the Carpathian Mountains on the border. Here, I'll try to make it super big. And I thought there was some way I could make it, oh, here. Is there some way I can make it bigger? I want you guys to be able to make this, see it much, much bigger. Home. Page. Nope. Alright. Anyways, it says here that was one of the strategically important Carpathian passes bitterly contested in battles on the Eastern Front of World War I during the winter of 1914 and 1915. An attempt to stand on the line of the Visluk River and the Lupko Pass failed before renewed Austro-German attacks on the 8th of May 1915, which is the Gorlitsa-Tarnów breakthrough. The railway tunnel was demolished and rebuilt multiple times during both World Wars. It was rebuilt again in 1946, but saw little use afterwards. Only in 1999 was regular passenger rail service reestablished through the pass. Interesting. All right, so I'm going to stop that screen, and then I'm going to go back to the pictures. There we go. All right. So there's that important pass bit, and I also wanted to show some other stuff. There we go, just a bit more of a context. Good morning, William Arends. James Samuel Reeson Russell, is that your, well, you got 1 point for guessing, and that's it, unfortunately. I don't know who that person is, so I'm going to have to look them up. I'll give you another hint. Hold on. Here we go. I'm going to edit this so I can also put it in the comments and the banner. And I was the son of a former slave from Barbados and grew up in an orphanage. And here you go. How you doing this morning, William Arends? Hopefully you'll have a bit of time later on to pop on over to the Not Jays marathon. That's going to be unbelievable. I can't wait to see what they're going to get up to. My goodness. Okay, well, here we're back to this picture stuff, and then we're doing pretty good for time. And here's I don't have the exact little spots, and I put these little the arrows back and forth here. to show you that there was a bit of, there's a lot of tit-for-tat action going up on here. But along the Eastern Front, you can see here it says, well, it says continue Russian advance in the Carpathians. We got that one done. The Russians repulse German attacks along the Niemen here, right there. They also took, the Germans took an area northeast of Tilsit, which is around this area as well. So, like I said, I think there's a lot of jockeying for position. You're going to see where the fronts are for the Galicia-Tarn offensive. And here again, the Germans are up here in northwest Poland are trying to make some advances. It's not working out very well. Same as the Russians over here. Yet again, I just think this part of this is just yet again jockeying for position. It's springtime coming up, and they know it. Here is some Bulgarian troops this week in 1915 that crossed the border into Serbia to take this spot. Darn it! I'll look it up here if I can find the name of it. It was a place called Valandovo, and it seemed to have been what they were trying to do, I guess, is to try to knock out eventually knock out this area and secure this rail line, and then move up towards Skopje or whatever. I don't know how to pronounce it, but anyways, that's occurring right now there in night. So yet again, I think we were mentioning this before. People are now starting to take advantage of what's going on. Here, this week, some of the Russian fleet in the Black Sea started to bombard the forts on the other side here in the Bosporus here. But some of their ships, well, they were driven away, and I think a couple of their ships were actually sunk by that destroyer that used to be German, that was sold in quotes to the Ottomans. That was actually, I think, the ship that was technically still German at the time. They got the German crew to wear fezzes way back in October to attack the Russians, to instigate the Russians to provoke the war, which happened. Sorry, Meandering Mike says, Nana Kofi Tomasi, well, forget it, I'm not going to say that, was the first black lieutenant colonel in the British Army, but that was much later. Excellent, Meandering Mike. You guys are getting a lot of points. Wow, and it's amazing that you guys know, like you're going to be giving me some more stuff for me to look up. This is, I'm loving it. Here, I'm going to give you another one. Yeah, there's not a lot, eh? I think I'll just you know what? I'll just give you all the freaking clues, because it's going to be tough. All right. William Arends, high winds, thunder and lightning came through last night. No observable damage to the neighborhood. William Arends, yes. What a strange... I think you guys got it a lot worse than we did. Yeah, this has been a very strange few days with the weather. Right now, we're just getting nailed with rain. Here, I became an officer in 1917 and led my men with gallantry and coolness under fire. And what's the other ones? Edit. Copy and comments. Yeah, I'm going to tell you guys. Well, we will. I'm going to show you one of the websites that the Nebula podcast yet again that I'm going to listen to for stuff to to get more background and whatnot. And I was like I was mentioning there about the Serbia thing. I was trying to get ready for the Battle of Kolubara. And yet again, it's for context for my other stuff that I'm doing, as well as also we got to figure out what's going on with everything else. That's why I was like, okay, I got to go backtrack a bit. And this guy's podcast on essentially what he calls the South Slav situation, and they mentioned that. If you really want to start getting to know how everything starts to unravel with the Balkans, he mentions that you should really take a look at Croatia. they kind of, or the host actually mentions, he goes, wow, he says it's almost like Croatia is the powder keg in the powder keg, which is the Balkans kind of thing. So I thought that was kind of interesting to hear. Yeah, he said, if anything, if you want to find out a lot about what's going on, maybe you should look ahead towards Croatia. Yeah, it was just neat to, like I said, it's one thing I love about these things is getting different perspectives. This guy certainly has a very different perspective than I find Christopher Clark's, and he's very, very nice about it in the interview. Like he doesn't say, "Hey, Christopher Clark's full of it" or whatever. None of that stuff. He says, "Oh, he's a very good read," and so on and so forth. But you can see he says, I differ from what he's mentioned. Anyways, so yeah, it's going to take a while to get through all of that stuff. I can tell you that much. But interesting. I'll show you also a couple of the characters that are going to be popping up. So there it is. There's again. And then I don't know where it is exactly, unfortunately. I've been trying to find the actual spot. But it said here that South African forces occupy Hasur, H-A-S-U-U-R. And it's in German Southwest Africa. But I have no clue where. Oh my God! So I have no idea where exactly it is on this map. And here, like I said, I just wanted to pop on the map that I have in my kitchen for the Gorlitsa Tarnów breakthrough. So maybe we can take a look and see what is the front going to kind of look like come May. And remember, if you guys can't, if it's not working out right. Picture-wise, please let me know. And so you can see here, like there's hardly anything along, but right up along here. Well, there's Memel right there. So that's what I think. Like I said, part of the jockeying position. So there's the front that you're going to see come May. You can see that the Russians still are still out across here. Along Warsaw and whatnot. So that's what I'm assuming has been happening here is these the pushes by the Germans to try to get a bit closer to Warsaw north of it. And then there's the front for the Carpathians. So you can see how far the Russians are all along here. They're basically right at the mountain passes. And of course, in a few months, that's all going to evaporate. And I think that, yeah, so that's it. I think that was, and those are I think that's it. Did I do it fine? Yeah. Okay, good. What else did I want to show you very quickly before we go off to Calandale land? Because that's 23 minutes longer, so, excuse me. Oh, yes. I did want to show you and we'll play it just a tiny bit. I don't think I'll get into trouble that way because we'll just hear a little bit. I think you guys would really enjoy listening to it. I know you can download it because I did download some of the MP3s. I just don't know why I'm no longer able to do it. So hopefully I can give it a shot. There's two ways you can also listen to it. You can listen to it like via the omnibus, like in like a 30-minute thing, where you don't have to listen to it all serialized, or the way I'm listening to it, just in these little 4-minute chunks. And what it is Margaret Macmillan. Here, I'll put it on so you can actually see what the heck I'm talking about. I'm going to get back onto my actually present it. There we go. All right, and just going to do it so this way I can actually see you guys too, because I can't really. Well, there we go. All right. And let me know if it's too small, too big, or like if I haven't done it. Actually, how do I would do this? I'd have to do it something like this, I think. Maybe that'll help make you guys see it bigger. So yeah, here's, like I said, we'll just listen to a tiny little bit of it. But I love the fact that I can just hit the play button and it just continues on to the next one right after the other. Anyways, Margaret Macmillan, and this is the thing. I wish, I mean, obviously I wasn't into World War I back then, But of course, back during the centenary anniversary or whatever you want to call it, everybody and their dog was doing 100th anniversary specials and so on and so forth. So this one is actually a day-by-day thing. I don't know how long it goes. I thought it was till like Christmas, but it doesn't seem to be. But it's really interesting. I think I'm up to August 1st. I'm actually quite surprised that Margaret Macmillan, I mean, it doesn't mean that she would be a great narrator or any of that stuff, but she's quite good, I find. There we go. All right. So anyways, we'll just play a tiny bit, and I hope you guys can hear it.
Or email feedback@bbc.co.uk. All those details are on the feedback pages of the Radio 4 website. Just before PM, we now begin a new daily series. The historian Margaret Macmillan looks back through contemporary accounts of the events leading up to the First World War in 1914, day by day.
In the house, the police found 22 coils of fuse, 7 bags filled with stones, a great number of flints, and a typewritten document relating to an improvised shrapnel grenade.
The 27th of June. The court hears evidence against a dangerous militant.
How do you plead?
Not guilty.
Now, is that cool or what? I don't know if you guys could heard that or whatnot, but I was like, ooh, I'm going to, that's the way it is. I was like, okay, I'm into this. I want to show you this one, and then, yeah. So this is the, and then we'll go to the book. I'll also show you where you can, the Goodreads. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to afford this book. $60 before shipping right now. That's all I've been able to see. But this is the person, thank you, Meandering. Mike says he could hear it loud and clear. And I highly suggest popping on over. It's been wonderful. I've been even listening to it at work. Just pop it on my headphones and away I go. I don't find it. I'm not into audiobooks much, so I just podcasts, this type of stuff I can deal with no problem. So anyways, this is the person that I find really. What's interesting too is that the interviewer Jesse Alexander, coincidentally, who's Canadian, lives in Austria. His master's theses, he used this guy's material extensively. So he was tickled pink when he got to interview Professor Cornwall. So that was really nice to listen to this podcast. I've listened to it now 3 times, and it just goes it goes really quick. And I'm yet again, with the way my brain works, the 3rd time was this morning. I was like, I don't remember hearing any of this. And I was just like, oh my gosh. So, and there you can see here, it says the volume assesses from a variety of regional perspectives how the South Slav question destabilized the empire's southern provinces, provoking violent discontent in Croatia and Bosnia and exacerbating the empire's relations with Serbia, regarded by Austria-Hungary as a dangerous state. It then explores the ripples of the Sarajevo event from its evolution into a European crisis to the creation of a new independent state of Yugoslavia. And this book here, the Sarajevo 1914, it's a collection of essays and articles. So he's one of the editors and a co-author, and he did one specifically on Croatia. And that's why I was saying, he was like, look, if you really want to get into some of that stuff, please go there. And then one other thing, and then we'll go off to Calandale land. I'm really glad I got to show you guys this Sarajevo 1914. And I'm super happy, Meandering Mike, that you got to hear the 1914 day-by-day thing, because it's really, and I don't think I'm going to get nailed for copyright. Everybody knows it was BBC Radio 4 that I did it from. I didn't listen to the full... You didn't hear the full podcast. Anyways, I'm not, whatever. And, off you go is what I'm trying to say. This thing here, I think I was mentioning to you guys. I'll share this tab. Boink. So this is this free maps thing that the background, when I was looking at the Great War channel on YouTube to find out, all their, like, what they use, the guy said, oh, this is where I go and get my maps. So I was like, okay, let's see what you can get away with here. I just did a tiny bit. Let's go to Charlemagne's Empire, actually. No, go away, you. And look, I can download it as an image file, as a PDF. You can do all kinds of amazing things. I think that's pretty darn nice. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, in other words, there's a lot, like, I hope you guys, if you're into gaming or want to find out a little bit more, there's a lot of stuff there. I'm obviously going to be using this for 1914. If I figured out all kinds of funky ways of being able to print very large maps or to make very small maps very large and so on and so forth. Charles Latora says, darn, fell back asleep. Charles, man, I knew damn well, no, it doesn't matter, like, yeah. Well, what can I say? You're here in spirit, for crying out loud. Thanks, man, you are, I love you to bits. I will admit, I was kind of like, not being able to see Charles here, but I was like, well, you noticed me pop on fake live earlier, and you probably went, what the hell? And then did what I would have done, went back to sleep. So, good on you. And you know what, Charles? You and I are going to be yapping our flipping brains out later on today, off and on during the marathon, as well as I can't wait to poke fun at Meandering Mike. And also, yet again, later on in the week, when I just found out I've got 6 days off in a row. So, like I said, I want to do my miniatures thing on Wednesday. I've also, I'm like, you know what, I'm going to just live stream my brains out. What's wrong with that? I still want to do the Tannenberg game. I want to show you so many freaking of my fantasy miniature stuff and whatnot. Look, you got to remember, I'm from a miniatures background, not from Hex Encounter or whatever. So my whole, it's like, that's where I'm off to. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, like if the mother load is what I'm saying. I've got the mother load of miniatures in my mind, anyways. No, not compared to other people, but that's where my mind, that's where my gaming has been for the past, Lord knows, 40 years or whatever. So, anyways, here we go. What did I want to show? I think we're getting close to just Calandale, aren't we? Hold on, I'll take a look. I think that's about it. Did I mention? Oh, I did. Oh, no. One person I do want to mention because he popped up with Sun Tzu, and I'm going to show it to you. And I was like, this guy, I can guarantee you, he read Sun Tzu. So, like I said, when I was starting to get ready for Serbia, and then started looking at some of the characters, like Oscar Podiorik and Radimir Putnik, and then I had to go a little bit before that, and then found out that one of the generals, I can't remember his name, I can find out in a minute, he was injured, and then General, shoot, I should know him because we're just about to look him up. He's got a strange name for me. Zunjiar. I got it written down here, but it just drives me nuts. I want to remember these things. Mizic is his last name. General Zivijin Mizic. Mizic. I'll have to learn it up someday. He replaced General Bojevic. Bloody hell, man. Very early in the war against the Austrians, and he I'm going to pop him up here because I really want you to see what he looks like. There he goes, and I'll show you this guy. Hold on, and then bloody hell, we better get, because I don't want to get too long, guys, for this live stream. I want you guys to have some time to mellow out and get ready for freaking the insane marathon that's about to happen. So if it, you know what, I just may say screw calendar. It's not what I mean. As in, it may have to go to next week, even though the odd thing was, and my main thing, this live stream, and I was getting towards it, was like, you better really pump Calandale. You've been, I was like, don't, anyways, shush. There we go. Microsoft Edge tab. I want a window. Yep. So this guy here. So he ends up taking over command very early on and changes the strategy quite a bit. He realizes that the Serbian army needs to regroup. It's exhausted, and decides, you know what, we're going to fall back a significant amount, not just a little amount. And the leaders freak out. And so I'm going to read you what he says, and then afterwards I think you guys will go, yep, that kind of sounds a heck of a lot like what Sun Tzu would sound like, or what he said. Okay, hold on here. Let's go. I'm going to stop that screen, and then I'm going to present this screen. A window. And there we go. So there. I don't want to listen to anyone at this point when I'm doing a job that I take responsibility for. I've ordered a retreat and I stand by it. Give the command to anyone you want, but as long as I command the army, it's going to be the way I think it's best for the country. Now, let's take a look at 3 quotes from Sun Tzu and tell me this guy didn't listen to or read some of him. I've already received your mandate as a commander, and while I am in command of the troops, I am not bound by your orders. This was just before he chopped the heads off of 2 of the king's favorite concubines for not following orders, by the way. The way Tao of battle guarantees you victory, it is right for you to insist on fighting even if the ruler has said not to. Where the way Tao of battle does not allow victory, it is right for you to refuse to fight even if the ruler has said you must. And then the third one. There are roads which must not be followed, armies which must not be attacked, towns which must not be besieged, positions which must not be contested, commands of the sovereign which must not be obeyed. Holy smokes. That's all I got to say. No, I don't want to save it. And then we go back to that one. Oh, good morning. Zoe Dufour says, good morning. Good morning. Nice to see you. So there you go. Like I said, I was really happy to slap some Sun Tzu in there. Make the T in Tao sound more like a D. So it'd be like, hold on, I'll read it out again. Okay. Thus, if the way of Tao, like that, Meandering Mike, Tao, hopefully. Darn it, I wish you, and your bloody Russian too, I wish I could like squish your knowledge into my head like immediately. That would be awesome. Okay, so how about we go straight to, because I think I'm finished here. Oh yeah, I'll give you one more, all the rest of the clues here. Hold on, guys. Edit. In World War I, here's another clue. Well, it doesn't matter. You guys realize I'm looking for a black World War I British officer. He was the first black person to become an officer, even though you weren't allowed to be. Oh, thank you, Meandering Mike says I'm slightly getting it right. Dow. All right, and I think I got one more. I was hit and killed by a bullet in no man's land. I thought, you know what was ironic? When I saw this hint or the clue, I went, yeah, that's really going to give a lot of, that's really going to narrow it down. I was hit and killed by a bullet in no man's land. I'm like, good Lord. Oh my God. That's crazyville. Okay, here we go. Going to comments. Charles Latora says, hope to paint rabbits this week. Did you know Michigan State University has decided the word bunny is a bad word? What? Meandering Mike says, bunny is a bad word. Yeah, I guess we're going off into that crazy land again, aren't we? There we go. You know what? You guys are not going to get the answer, are you? So, you know what I'm going to do just for fun? Well, it doesn't matter because it would all merge in. I'll just give you guys all 5 points. So even if you're not on the leaderboard, like Zoe Dufour's never been on the. Zoe Dufour says, "Darn, I fell back asleep this morning too." There you go. Everybody will just get 5 points. That's just the way it is. At least you'll be on the board. Maybe that'll give you some incentive to try next later. Anyways, here I'll show you the final image. I just got to pop it up because I did actually, like I said, make a little picture. Oh, I'm gonna say one thing, guys. I am so happy I finally clued in to take pictures ahead of time of the freaking fronts, so that way, like I said, I don't have to go into like whip out the sea shanty book and I can start showing you stuff. So we're gonna go to live stream history heroes. Aha! And there we go. And I have to just make sure that it's there we go. I just gotta make there we go. And Charles Latora says I was hitting. No, sorry. I shouldn't, but I did order more miniatures. Charles. There's a 12-step program for that. Yep, and we're never going to go to them. That's for bloody sure. I can tell you that much. Yeah, you saw my crazy poster upstairs. And that's right. Meandering Mike was making a comment about it. That a lot of miniatures now are made of plastic. So my, buy more miniatures so you can make a nuclear fallout shelter. It's not going to work. Okay, so here I want to show you the answer. Minis Anonymous, yes. Lord of mercy. Oh gosh, I'd love to have some fun if we could more play around with the 12-step. We could play around with the 12-step thing. That would be pretty funny. So here's your answer, guys. Walter Tull, born in 1888 and died in 1918, as we know, when he was hit and killed in no man's land. And there, I wanted to also show you the I wanted to show you the actual cards, so that way you can go, okay, that's what it looks like. And also the information, like if you wanted to go off to here and so on and so forth. It's too bad they didn't have a QR code there. You guys could have just nailed it right away. Anyways, that's it. We'll go to, what are we at? No, you know what, guys? We're not going to do Calandale. How about we just chit-chat for a tiny little bit? And that'll be that, because it's getting close to 10 o'clock. I don't want to interfere with everybody's sleep or rest or whatever, because it's not that. It's going to be, 3 hours from 10 o'clock, and enough of that nonsense. Charles Latora says, some are metal, including one Ralph Partha. Yeah. Oh, guys, man, I don't know if Zoe knows about it anymore, and don't tell my mom. So way back when I was a little kid, I ordered, and it cost a lot of money, because it was my own money. I bought one of the Imperial Dragons, the Ralph Partha Imperial Dragons, with the little coupon thing, your number, whatever, of whatever. Never painted it, because even as a child I realized, don't do it, Chris, don't do it. And it looks just like what I remembered Smoke would have been from The Hobbit, lying on a huge bed of treasure. And I was like, oh my God, I'm in heaven. Never painted it. Gave it to my mom, because she can do those things. She kept it around for years and years and years and years and years and years and years. Finally gave it back to me maybe 10, 15 years ago or something like that, at my work location. I left it at my work location, told somebody about it, and when we moved locations, I put it in my box and brought it over to, thinking it was going to be brought into my new work location. Should have brought it home, man. Well, guess what? It's gone. And what a bummer. It just, I don't know how much, it's not, to me, it's not how much it's worth. It's just that it was with me for ages and ages. Yeah, let's just chit-chat for a few minutes if you guys want to talk. I'm going to, maybe I'll go on about my exploration this week about World War I, if that's okay. If it isn't, let me know. Yeah, I'll go over my notes relatively. Like I said, it's a bit irritating. Like I said, it's always, I have to try to keep my head down. Like I look up and I'm like, oh my God, look at all the stuff to learn. It's like, it's overwhelming, and I just don't have enough time in a week, and so on and so forth. It's like jeepers jumping. It irritates me that, for example, not even started touching yet with Africa, which I would love to do. Yet again, well, we're getting close. I'm slowly but surely getting towards getting ready to do something with the Italian front. Like to actually play. Like I said, I want to do an actual proper Weltkrieg thing. Oh, and it also touched on me when Charles was showing me, or showing everybody on his video post there, a bunch of the World War I games that he had picked up. And one of them was that GMT series, Serbian, I'm not going to say it. Charles Latora mentions a few ogres, some more orcs, of course, and about 30 rats of various types. Charles, man, I just clued in today when I was like, because I sent a video off to Zoe, because Zoe, Stefan, and I played a bit of role-playing, a bit of an RPG game 2 years ago, I think now it would have been. Oh my gosh. Or a year ago, whatever. And we did 2 or 3 outings, but I think you can now clue in that Stefan, I think, wants to play. And we weren't playing with miniatures. I've never, as a child, even like it was a weird thing. Like it was always like, oh, like to play with miniatures in RPG. I only ever did it in my head with other people. That's the way we played it. And drew it out on a map or whatever. So it was always like a weird. It was a separate thing. Like I did combat stuff or whatever we did with the other stuff, but I never incorporated very much. It was just like an exotic thing to do occasionally. So when I saw D&D or other stuff doing that with RPGs, it was like, whoa, this is interesting. But anyways, I think Stefan's more that way. So when I was looking at some of my stuff to get it ready for that, I realized I don't have a lot of tabletop terrain or any of that stuff. And I'm like, okay, you're going to have to start making it because I'm not painting it. And I'm not buying the stuff to paint. So I'm going to have to start making some funky little, tiny little crafty stuff, I think, is what I'm going to do. Anyways, with that Serbian thingamajig here, you know what? We've got, 8 minutes left? Hold on here. I'll pop it on the... I'll go to BGG. It's one of the recent things that I was looking at anyways. So I can go to present. It's this thing here, and you know what? It was one of those. Rule sets or whatever that I was thinking about, but I looked at a few of the reviews and looked at the weight here and shied away from it. I don't know if I should have shied away from it. I don't know. But this is one thing I would certainly like to do someday, guys, is... hold on, I got to see if you guys can actually see what the heck I was looking at. Because it wasn't really... So hopefully you can see that. Yep. Charles Latora says, Joy of Wargaming, been doing videos with rats as one force. He was having too much fun. Cool. And you know what? That's the other thing, too. I like it when... it's, not the usual suspects all the time that you kind of see. That'll be another nice thing to talk to you about, Charles. I was looking about that actually earlier this morning when I was starting to organize my enemies. I have factions, I guess everybody kind of does, and I've got my skeleton faction, I've got my lizardy reptile faction, I've got my Minotaur faction, which I call, they're the Tarman Minotaurs from Treasure of Tarman. It's my all-time favorite game from Mattel and Television. Unbelievable game. That type of stuff. I was like, okay, I've got my beast creatures, and I was like, okay, I'm just grouping them up. So yeah, you're thinking about rats. That would be kind of neat to see. Were-rats and all that stuff. I love that type of stuff, whatever. Anyways, I wanted to take a look at, why didn't I get into this game system? Or, well, Charles has it. Is it a really tough game? What alternatives are there to Der Weltkrieg? Are there any? Or, you know what I mean? I'm not saying about the full-on global aspect, but I mean being able to do an operational... I mean, obviously here, look, you can see we're right up here in Serbia land. I like those counters. Wow. Nice matte look too, eh? Oh boy. I tell you, Charles, you're gonna have to show me your, or maybe they're not matte. You have to show me those someday when you get to show me you do an unboxing or whatever. I'm gonna find out if it's shiny or not. Okay, we got 5 minutes left, guys. Is there anything you want to yabber on about? Let me know. So that's it. Like I said, I want to. I'm going to do a bit more stuff about the Serbia thing. On a side, I got 4 trillion side projects with World War One. That's the problem. You know what? I thought when I was reading up and also listening on the podcast, I was thinking, you know what? Well, maybe you guys are going to think this is corny, but welcome to my life. If you haven't figured out I'm not corny by now, you got some issues. You know what? I'm a distant relative of the Habsburgs. In other words, I have got so many half-finished projects, it's not funny. So that's why I'm looking at it. I'm a distant relative of the Habsburgs. Oh, good Lord. Anyways, it doesn't take much to get me going for my little mind to think I'm funny. That's it, guys. We got 4 minutes left. Oh yeah, I want to still do some really get into the railroad. The whole, well, as we know, World War One. It's just essential with railroad. Yeah, you're not dealing with. That's the other on another side thing. I never clued in how much motorcycle. I don't know what you call it, but motorcycle regiments, companies, whatever. There's a ton of them. Motorcycles were all over the flipping place, it seems, in World War One. I was like, wow, that was quite neat. Other than that, I'm almost finished. I think I got about 20 minutes left of the Aces High movie with Malcolm McDowell and Christopher Plummer. If you got, well, it's on Tubi, on the Canadian Tubi. I don't know, because remember, we have different rights things that you get, like you guys can get movies that we can't, so on and so forth. But if you can get Aces High and you're interested in watching Aces High or just part of it, go to about the 1 hour 10-minute mark. What a wicked dogfight. It's about several minutes long and it's excellent. It was gripping. I watched it last night. I was just like, holy, like I was like, whoa, this is really good stuff. Like I want to actually, I'll probably watch it later on again. Okay, we're down to 3 minutes, guys. I feel sorry. Well, no. You know what we're going to do next week, or I'm hoping we will, like right off the bat, maybe just start off with Charles Latora. We'll start off with Calandale, or like a little bit of whatever, but it's, like I said, I don't want to misuse or abuse what Calandale allowed me to do, which, like I said, which is, he allowed me to stream his videos, and I don't want to abuse it in the sense of, oh, now your live stream's going well, you don't need them anymore, kind of stuff. It's like, no, that's not, as well as I want to watch them to completion. I've watched them a few times, and I think they're, like I said, they're valuable. That's why I wanted to put them on in the first place. This person has very good, I think, tactical insights and strategic whatevers. I don't know all the terms, guys, so, but I just think he's got a, all his complaining aside about the game and whatnot, his way of looking at things, I was like, yeah, and it seems to be very conducive with the rules for being like that operational viewpoint of looking a few turns ahead of having to get things going. He also just seems to have a very good understanding of, from what my limited knowledge of how World War I combat and things should work. That's it. Okay, guys, I'm going to see you in a few hours in various formats. Meandering Mike, I hope your segment or segments on the marathon go super great. I hope your painting or whatever the heck you decided to get a hold of is good. Charles Latora mentions, as soon as table is clear, I'll open Serbia Must Die and do an unboxing. Awesome. I'm really very interested in. It would be neat to see at some point. Was that the better alternative for me? I doubt it, because you know why, and I think I've said this before. The Der Weltkrieg game for me is a tool. It's just like a paintbrush, just like a paint can, piece of paper. It's not the end-all be-all. It's just a tool for me to explore World War I, to get my creative jollies out, to gameplay, to interact with you, the whole 9 yards. But it's not the end-all be-all, is what I'm trying to say. Meandering Mike says, see y'all. Meandering Mike says, I'll be painting some terrain from Bad Squiddo Games. Ooh, that seems interesting. I don't even know anything about those guys. And painting some Lizardmen. Yes! One of my favorite freaking enemies, man. And like I said against Charles, I was a bit irritated that they lost against the Orcs. Unimpressed. Okay, I'll see you guys in a bit. Hope you guys have a fantastic time. All the best to you. Thanks, guys. Bye.